What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JTW Sports Show. We're back with some NFL playoff talk. We're in the second round now. We got some pretty good matchups, some pretty fun ones. You know, it's a weird time of the year. You know, you got a team playing, you know, in about 1 degree weather. So that's obviously I'm talking about the Packers there, but you know that'll be fun to watch. I'm excited for this week. TJ, Will, how you guys feeling, man?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're finally about to watch the best teams play NFL football. And by best teams, I mean the Green Bay Packers.
Nah, dude. Actually, the Panthers, Broncos, and
Falcons. Broncos, and Falcons. Little do we know they're actually playing in a separate playoff that nobody knew about, and that was who can we hire to help?
Before we start, the Panthers just hired Ben McAdoo as their offensive coordinator. I'm not sure how to feel about that. I think he's a decent offensive coordinator. I don't think
Broncos are interviewing everybody.
Yeah.
Kansas City's OC, Dan Quinn. Yeah, we're just everybody that's available. We're like
interview Brian Flores. I don't know. I mean,
I think he'd be a good fit.
But
that's not what this video is about.
Well, I mean, it's still kind of news, and some news about that, you know, is Deshaun Watson as well. Him and Brian Flores want to meet up and take their talents to somewhere. And I think Denver might be a good spot for that. So, anyways.
Would you like Deshaun Watson, TJ? Yes or no? Would you like Deshaun Watson?
Say what?
Say yes or no, just quick answer. Would you like Deshaun Watson on the Denver Broncos?
Oh, if yes. With all the legal stuff and it not, yes. Deshaun Watson can still play. Okay. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. When he's healthy, he's a top eight quarterback in the league.
That's what I'm saying. And we have the receivers.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe, you know, those additions could maybe take y'all to the playoffs, which is what we're talking about right now. We are in the second round. So we got through the wild card. We're on to the divisional. And, man, I'm excited. So let's start with –
To me, Saturday's games, I feel like, are going to be better games than Sundays.
Probably. So
the first game Saturday, the Bengals versus the Titans.
Yeah.
With a Derrick Henry Titans.
That's what I was going to say. Derrick Henry they announced earlier he is starting. So he will be starting. I was going to ask y'all, with Derrick Henry coming back, do y'all still think the Titans, you know, should be the favorites for this game?
No. I'm going Bengals. I think Bengals are actually a strong favorite. I think they're a strong favorite in my opinion. I actually just don't like this Titans team. I think all throughout the year, you know, I don't think they deserve the one spot. 100%. I don't think they're a top 3 team in the AFC. They somehow snuck in some wins, and they ended up being the 1 seed. I kind of found it ridiculous. Obviously, you don't have Derrick Henry for a lot of the season, and you know, who's to say that he probably would have made them better, but they still had the number 1 seed without him. So that it's good news for them, but I'm really high.
I don't think their receivers haven't been healthy all season. I mean, to where we don't even know who's going to play tomorrow. Bengals are on a hot streak. Joe Burrow's that guy, and that offense is finally connecting to where if their defense can keep Derrick Henry under wraps, I think the Bengals could win by 2 touchdowns.
No, I agree.
See, I mean, you know, to counter y'all's point, ever since Derrick Henry went out, they've beat the Rams. They've beat the 49ers. They beat the Dolphins. I mean, they beat some, you know, not so good teams in there like the Jags and stuff, but they beat, you know, some quality teams without Derrick Henry to, you know, retain that 1 seed. And I remember
but when they beat those quality teams, were those quality teams playing their best game? And the answer is no. The Rams played god awful against the Titans. That was one of Matt Stafford's worst games all season.
But is that because the Titans had a good game plan, or is that because
the Titans?
I mean, you can argue it either way.
The Titans have a really, really good defense. Their problem has always been on the offensive side with Ryan Tannehill. He's limited. He can only do so much. So
he's had a good track record of being pretty decent late in the season.
Yeah.
But I like Burrow over Tannehill, and that's why I'm taking Bengals over Titans.
I like Joey. I like Joey over.
You know, I've always been a big Titans guy this season, but I really think the Bengals could.
I want to see the Bengals do something. I want to see them
pull it out. I really do.
I don't want them to be like the Browns last year that won the first round and then lost in the second. Everyone's like, yeah, they did so well. No, I want the Bengals to actually make a run.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals got it, but also, you know, having Derrick Henry back, I know he hadn't played in a couple weeks, about 10 weeks, but he's still Derrick Henry. So you got to, that's going to be a good game.
So the next game after that is actually the 49ers versus the Packers.
I think this will be the best game of the weekend.
You think so? I actually think this is going to be the worst game. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Packers are going to absolutely demolish the 49ers. I don't think it's going to be close. The reason I say that is because, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the weather. The temperature, it's going to be in freezing degrees. It's going to be terrible. They're playing in Lambeau.
And the Packers have been practicing outside. They haven't been indoors.
And you've got Aaron Rodgers playing in his his hometown, not really, where he's been for the past, basically his whole career.
And you got to remember, San Fran is a very big rivalry for Aaron because that's where he grew up, and that's where he was told he was being drafted to, and they skipped over him, and then he fell to Green Bay, which it's worked out perfect for Green Bay, but this has always been one of those that every time he plays San Fran, and last time, if you remember, San Fran gave him 37 seconds down by 1. And what does he do? He wins.
I'm looking at the weather for tomorrow. They're calling for a little bit of snow tonight in Green Bay.
Ooh.
The high is 21 degrees. It's not supposed to snow. The high is 21 and the low is 0.
Exactly.
So I'm assuming around game time, it'll probably be, in the teens and then drop.
I saw something saying it should be around 6 to 7 degrees during the second half.
Yeah, that's like towards the end of the game.
It is a night kickoff game.
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome.
And Sunday, in case anybody wanted to know, Sunday in Green Bay, the high is 13.
Crazy. But that's where Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, yeah, he played in New England and he went on those runs with New England, but it's not the same. And
but also, I think that defense is good enough to keep Jimmy G from doing anything spectacular. Like,
you're gonna have to shut down Debo. That's it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they can do it.
But to counter what y'all are saying is, if it is going to be that cold, I think it might end up being a battle of who has the best O-line, and these are two of the best O-lines in the league. And the 49ers might have a better O-line than the Packers, as far as running the ball wise.
I see
they just don't have the running backs that the Packers have.
That's the thing. Green Bay has the better running back core with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
Whoever scores first in this game is going to take control, and the other team's going to have to change their game plan entirely. Because if the Packers score first, they're still going to get on a high horse, and they're going to keep taking that. But if the 49ers score first, then they're going to try to start running the ball, establish the run game more and more. But if the Packers scoring first, the 49ers are going to try to throw it a bunch. And they're going to try to get quick game, try to get Debo in space. And I think if the Packers can shut that down in the first half, I think they got it in the bag. I think they're
that's one thing Aaron's good at is controlling the football and cutting time. Aaron has said it in multiple interviews. He doesn't care if they win by 7 or they win by 70. As long as they win, who cares? And so personally, I think Aaron's going to win a Super Bowl this year. I think he's playing good enough. I think their offense is firing on all cylinders. So I'm picking Green Bay in this one.
Cool. Now
I'm also biased, because
I'm going Green Bay on this one too.
Part of the ownership.
I do think, I don't think, like Jimmy said, it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a really good game, but I'm still picking Green Bay because they have Aaron Rodgers.
See, the next game is the game that I think is going to be the best game of the weekend, and it's one of the only quarterbacks that has more wins than Rodgers, one of the only quarterbacks that is going to be all-time better than Rodgers, greater than Rodgers, and that's Tom Brady himself. The Buccaneers are playing the Rams. This Rams team on roster is the best team in the league, in my opinion. They have the best roster. They have some of the biggest names, but here's the thing, though. Odell Beckham is playing like Odell Beckham. He's not playing like the Browns' Odell Beckham, and I think it's quite clear, he wasn't the problem in Cleveland, but he's been on a tear. Von Miller has been playing very good. I'm sorry, TJ. He's been playing very good for –
Why are you saying sorry?
Because that's the best player in y'all's franchise history. And
we decided to say bye.
Whoa. So John Elway doesn't exist?
I think –
No. See, John Elway was, but then we gave John Elway, like, power to control our team, and he just tarnished the team after that. So I now demote him to the second greatest.
Okay.
But speaking of the greatest, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. You never want to bet against Tom Brady.
No.
You're never going to. And
I'm going to because the Rams are going to win this game.
Whoa. And that was your prediction at the beginning of the year.
The Rams at the beginning of the season were my prediction as soon as they got Matthew Stafford, I was like, they have the team. Jared Goff couldn't get it done. Matthew Stafford will get it done, and they will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday afternoon.
So my prediction beginning of the season was a little bit different. It was the Buccaneers making it to the finals. So this is a battle between me and Will. So we'll see how that goes.
Personally, for Aaron Rodgers' sake, I hope it's the Rams because he throttled them in the season.
But
and
that could be a bad thing.
It could be, but Aaron's thing is he can't get over that hump of Brady. You know, it's always Brady then Rodgers. And I mean, think about it. That's who we're talking about for MVP. So yeah. I want to see the Rams win, but I've bet against Tom too many times in my life. And every time he's shown me different. I mean, no offense to the Falcons, but he was down 28-3 going into the fourth quarter and pulled off a comeback win to win a Super Bowl. The problem is the problem with this Bucs team. They showed last week they can put up a lot of points, but that was in a Philly team that we all said shouldn't have been in the playoffs. There was another team out there that should have been in. Do they still have the same offensive threats to win against the Rams?
I think they do. I think they're going to bring Antonio Brown back. I think Mike Evans is enough, to be honest with you.
But that was enough against an average Eagles team.
Yeah.
Now you're playing.
The average Eagles team also had Darius Slay, but like
true. I mean, listen. I think it's really going to come down to who's going to make the better passes to their star receivers.
Look, the Rams have a secret weapon. Eric
Weddle. Eric Weddle is going to be the reason the Rams win the Super Bowl.
You're right. But, I'm going to go Rams on this one, though. I'm not going to go with the Bucs. I'm going Rams.
I'm taking Bucs.
Okay. That leaves us one more game for the weekend: the Bills versus the Chiefs. This has potential to be the best game.
This has potential to be the highest scoring game.
Yes. It is
because both teams' defenses are.
It's going to be 40 degrees at game time, I think, in Kansas City, which is
it's not terrible.
Not very cold for this time of year in Kansas City, especially the weather that's going on all around like the Midwest, East Coast area. I think. I can't bet against Mahomes. I just can't. I know that he struggled earlier in the year, but then like we said, they turned it around, went 10-2 or whatever they went over the last couple games. And the Bills just comes down to it. Their run game. Last week, Devin Singletary ended up with 2 rushing touchdowns, but he didn't have many yards. They weren't playing a very good team, in my opinion. Patriots are a good team, but they're not the Chiefs. Let's just say that.
Give them a year or two.
Yeah. I think they got up on the Patriots early, and then the Patriots offense with Mac Jones being a rookie, not having many weapons, whatnot, they didn't really. Yeah. They couldn't come back. They weren't going to come back. Now the Chiefs, this is a team where they could be down 21-0 and come back and win the game. The Bills could be down 21-0, come back and win the game. This one is, like TJ says, going to be really high scoring. I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. Then.
T.
These teams have flipped in a sense. Chiefs started off struggling with the year, finished strong. Bills started off really hot to begin the year, finished everyone was like, I don't think they can do it. Last week, the Bills proved that they still have that offense. They can still demolish teams. But like Will said, it's very, very – I've been a Josh Allen supporter, been a Bills supporter.
He was your MVP at the beginning of the year.
He was my MVP. Now I think we know who it's going to be. And I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. See, I'm going back to my beginning of the year.
Because he's destroyed Denver twice.
Going back to my beginning of the year Super Bowl prediction, and that was actually the Bills versus the Buccaneers. So I am going to take the Bills because of that, but also because I think Josh Allen will abuse this Chiefs secondary.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see the Bills win.
Yeah. No, this Chiefs secondary, they definitely got a lot better. They connected as a core a lot better throughout the season, especially towards the end. And both defenses actually played really good towards the end of the season. Tyrann Mathieu is going to be a game changer. I think if Josh Allen can stay away from him, or if he can find his dudes, and Stephon Diggs he's gonna have to step up pretty big. But I think he's gonna take him over the hump, and I think they're gonna beat the Chiefs. Wow.
I hope they do. I really hope they do. But with watching Patrick Mahomes, we got to give him more credit to do. He's been to 2 back-to-back Super Bowls.
I will say this. The X factor for this game is Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill has not played good in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, he had 50 yards and a touchdown last week, but 50 yards and a touchdown for Tyreek Hill is nothing. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't had a 100-yard game since December 16th against the Chargers in overtime. But before that, he's only had 2 100-yard games this season. Now, he still had 1,200 yards. Don't get me wrong. He still had a good season. But he hasn't had the Tyreek Hill season. I mean, against Denver.
He hasn't had the same games.
Against Denver last week of the season, he had 2 yards. Yeah. The week before that, he had 40. The week before that, he had 19. I think he's got to get it going for them to win. I'm picking them to win, but if Tyreek Hill does not have 100 yards, they will not win the game.
I think we're expecting Travis Kelce to play good. I think we're expecting Pat to play good. But, yeah, I agree. If Tyreek Hill doesn't play very good, then I don't know. But this Bills secondary is a lot better than the Chiefs secondary. So I think they get the edge over that. And then in their passing game, I want to see. I love Josh Allen, but I do like Patrick Mahomes a lot in this Chiefs team. But
now Jerick McKinnon played really good for them last week. Former San Francisco 49er. I really like him. He's a good, third down, receiving back. And I remember when they picked him up, I was like, that's a good pickup for them. He played good. So we'll see what they can do. Yeah. He fits what they do. We'll see what they can do. Like we said, these are going to be some good games. We'll be back on probably Monday, with the reaction to these games. Hopefully they're good and not like last week where most of them are blowouts. Any final thoughts?
That's it.
Go, Pat, go.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.